Hello. How is it going, folks? That's my robot voice. I was practicing it because I'm toying with maybe putting it somewhere in the campaign. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Cameron, he, him pronouns. Welcome to the Streaming Rainbow.
Streaming
yes.
Rainbow.
Yes,
Can't
I
license
think
that.
we can. Yep, I think we can license that.
That's true.
I think that's our new catchphrase. Oh, what is it? Theme song. Theme
Yeah.
song is the word I was looking for. It's a catchphrase, but with music. Theme song, and that is the catchphrase for theme song. There we go. Full circle.
We did it.
Welcome to Streaming Rainbow. Theme song included. Don't have to go to the store and buy those. This is Guild Fantasmagoria. I'm going to be your DM this evening as we step back into episode 2. But don't worry, if you missed episode 1, this one's a little tricky. It's a little out of order. It's meant to be an anthology. You might not understand some things, but the story itself is contained. And if you watch along, you should have a grand old time, or maybe you'll cry. I don't know. We discussed tragedy before this, so it might get sad. And the sunglasses are coming out. Onesie on, sunglasses out. I love it. Before we jump in, remember to like, subscribe, follow us on our social medias linked below in the description. Also, come hang out with us on the Discord. We have a grand old time in there. Again, that's 2 grand old times for the price of 1. Okay, I've said that 2 times.
That's extra grand.
Extra grand, extra old, extra time, and we all need a little extra time. We enter once again to a little land of stories. Before we do that, let's introduce some of the people joining us. Let's go top row. So the person on my screen. Oh, what is this? Is this would it be my right on my
Other
screen?
way. Left.
Is that left? Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Here we go.
Thanks, StreamYard. Whatever. It's me.
It's me. It's me.
Yeah, fellow DM here at Streaming Rainbow, Laura, playing Jonathan. It's confusing, and I have a onesie. Yeah. So now I'm going to throw it down to right below me.
Diagonal left.
No. I'm going to Sera.
It's me. Hi.
Mario.
It's me.
I'm Sera. My pronouns are she, her. And I will be playing Sera, who is playing the Sparrowhawk. And I am ready for a good time. Always ready for a good time. And now I'll get it over to...
That's me. Yes. Hello, I'm Mindy, and I'm playing Lady Belizabeth, Matilda, Catherine, Analinda, Williams III.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I don't have an extra person. I'm just me.
It's okay. All your names are an extra person.
Yeah,
That is
you're
true.
good.
I was practicing before. It's still hard for me.
It's the price of nobility. They just want more and more names for you to
That's true.
be able to keep it in your mouth as long as possible.
Hey, if you were a demon, it'd be hard to summon you. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not demonic now, am I?
Not with that attitude. Oh, let's jump in, shall we? Bada. Cue music. Here at Scheherazade Corporation, we prize ourselves in a few things. Our amenities are top-notch, located in the middle of an extraplanar desert. Scheherazade provides comfort and privacy for all of its employees. Not only that, but our local and spacious living areas provide comfort and isolation in the comfort and isolation that is the city itself. Pretty good, if you ask me. All employees of the Scheherazade LLC are well taken care of. They live next to their job. Their commute is very minimal, and they have everything they need nestled with a short walk, drive, or trip on our wonderful public transportation. Every day at work is a blessing for our employees here at the Scheherazade farm. We all pride ourselves in our work, and with a gleaming smile and a song in their heart, our storytellers go to work every day to break the boundaries of the stories you know and love. On this day specifically, Sera, Laura, you are called in once again to visit the story of the Lady Belizabeth, Matilda, Catherine, Matilda, Analinda, son of a goodness gracious
Lady Belizabeth, Matilda, Catherine, Analinda, Williams the Third.
This
I
is
just
a
want to
chatty
add,
book.
I just want to add
Really
20
wide
more.
cover.
I want to add like all of the names. Like I feel like there's not enough names, even though there's 12 of them. So yes,
I mean, my entire family. I mean, it can be done.
And will be soon, but not now, because in the real world, Laura and Sera have once again arrived to a very similar stark room. At the back of the room are the two machines that you are going to jump in once again. This time though, there is a different attendant there, not an IT person. They don't do the technology stuff on the inside. But you see sitting at the desk, not eating a tuna fish sandwich, but fixing some sort of intricate like motherboard device with a soldering iron. Is like a long, lengthy human woman. Her skin is like almost like translucent in the fluorescent light that kind of hangs above you in this white stark room. Uh, Her nails are like claw-like and pointed, but like bright red. Her lipstick matches perfectly. Her heels are high, and they make her long, lengthy body look even longer and more imposing as she stands up and takes off her goggles to reveal a perfectly make-up face, almost like the goggles disturbed absolutely nothing. Her eyes shine a beautiful, like lavender color, and from around her neck is a golden chain connected to her tiger print horn rimmed flaring glasses as she puts them on and winks at the both of you.
Well, hello.
I put away my air freshener that I brought for the other guy. Wow. Hi. Hello.
Hello. Welcome,
Hi.
ladies.
Nice to meet you. You are?
Yes, we have not been properly introduced. My name is Dr. E.
Wow.
I feel
A
like we
doctor.
still have not been properly introduced.
That is okay. You might feel that from time to time again. We tend to trade shifts. Where are you leaving off?
Fire. Lots of fire. Much fire.
Yeah, there was
Devastation.
fire.
Broken person.
Yeah.
She kind of just walks over to the wall, and you see on the wall the same color or white shelf built into the wall, slides it open, and you see books of all different sizes and colors, kind of just like fill up this like 5 foot by 3 foot section of the wall. This is the section for fire and tragedy. Is there a specific story you were searching for?
Oh, it's Lady Belizabeth, Mufasa, Eleanor Rigby, Williams of a number.
Definitely Williams. You know,
Definitely Williams, definitely Belizabeth. She was 100% a lady.
Okay, well, she takes out 12 different books and lines, like just puts them on the table. These are all the books pertaining to a Lady Belizabeth Williams.
that's quite a few.
Well,
Okay.
there are quite a few stories to tell.
Okay, it's the third Lady Belizabeth Williams. Does that help?
She takes out 5 of the books and puts them back.
We're down to 7. All right, we're narrowing it down.
This one is obsessed with some dead guy called Leonardo da Vinci. And there was a flying machine
Yeah, the flying machine
that
which
crashed.
crashed.
Do
Badly.
you have enough time for me to sit here and read through all of the books? Just
Oh, have you
so
not?
you can.
What?
Like I said, there are a lot of stories here at the Scheherazade Institute.
Hey, Dr. E, we want to help you help us help you. So,
Hey,
what
please,
information?
please, call me E.
Thank you.
I'm really
You're welcome. I still haven't
intimidated
received your names.
by. I'm Laura. I'm Laura. Good to meet you. I am not normally a cat. Here you go. Hi. So flustered.
Yes, an interesting choice, seeming that you live very close to your job. And she just like gingerly gives you her manicured hand.
Oh my god, such a good good to
Let's not look at it and talk to my hand, please. Thank you very much.
Oh dear. Well, I'm Sarah, and I'm delighted to meet you. And I'll give her a curtsy and not make her extend her hand.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Why don't you just let me know when you figure out what story you would like to bookmark?
Okay, Cam. What are the titles of these 7 books?
Yeah, Cam.
Well, there are 7 books, but the title that sticks out to you is the one entitled Lady Elizabeth, Matilda, Catherine, Analinda Williams of the Third.
Okay, I think I found it.
Oh, did you find it? That's very
many
very
names.
good.
You can't blame us. Look how many names those are. That's so many names.
It's a lot of names.
It is a lot of names, and I'm glad we got there eventually. Takes off the goggles again, and brings the book over to the book marker, which are these 2 machines, how they are referred to. She puts the book down. Now, I am sure you have been briefed over how to do this, but let's just go over it once again.
Oh, that
You will
would be
sit down.
lovely.
You will sit down into these machines, and the bookmarker will tell you the story fragment in which you will explore. You will be able to aid the protagonists on their journey. You will be able to hinder their journey. You will have a baseline of how the story is supposed to go. And it says that last time, as she kind of checks the clipboard that's attached to one of the bookmarkers, says that last time you encountered some strange disturbances in the story.
Yes, gray areas and notes from the editor.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Well, try to avoid those at all costs. We would like to keep the story pure, or we would like at least the only people to be able to change the story be the storytellers themselves. So once you get yourself all strapped in, we will activate the machine and it will read you where you need to go. Is there anything you would like to do beforehand?
No, ma'am. Dr. E. I mean, no, ma'am.
Wow. Great. I feel old. She walks
You're...
away.
Shit. Sarah, help.
You're on your own here, Laura.
She's too put together. I can't.
She's really intimidating.
She's like attractive too. But it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Small, but let me just put on my glasses and start my work while you discuss how attractive I am.
I don't know why that would be offensive. I'm so sorry. I'm a cat.
It's not offensive. It's just awkward.
It's okay, E. We got this. All right, let's.
She finger guns you back with like the tinted goggles on. She looks
God.
badass as all hell.
Why is she so cool? I mean, meow.
All right, I'll strap myself in.
Okay. As you strap yourself in, flustered or not, the device goes down in front of your eyes. This black bag, and in the bag,
Don't like the black bag.
the black bag, and in the black bag, you see words start to materialize. And if Lady Belizabeth Williams would remove her ears,
Oh,
so
yes.
her entire life story is not ruined.
The moon hung low over the twisted spires of Grimshire, casting long shadows across the cobbled streets. In a small, dimly lit laboratory tucked away in a forgotten corner, Professor Eleanor Gray toiled tirelessly, her scarred hands delicately measuring ingredients. Her mind raced with calculations, her heart with a burning determination to succeed. She needed to perfect her tonic, not just for herself, but for the countless others who suffered. Weeks turned into months, but despite her efforts, Eleanor couldn't crack the final piece of the puzzle, the machine to blend the elixir to perfection. Desperation led her to the door of Lady Belizabeth, once an esteemed colleague, now an estranged figure in her life. "I need your help, Belizabeth," Eleanor implored, her voice steady despite the turmoil within. Professor Gray convinced Lady Williams to help her in her task. The tonic, an almost supernatural healing liquid, revealed itself to be a tricky nut to crack. The machine required to create it was a difficult task for even Belizabeth, but the two scientists continued their work for months. Winter eventually howled into Grimshire, the town blanketed in snow overnight. Lady Belizabeth worked in the small lab of the professor. The night was a night of shocking discovery. Belizabeth broke through on the design of the centrifuge, crafting an expert blueprint of the final mechanism for the machine. As she ducked into Professor Gray's private quarters to share the good news, she discovered Gray administering her unfinished tonic on herself. Belizabeth watched as the tonic transformed Gray. The professor's eyes bulged from her skull. Her skin started to grow scaled and irritated, and she grew in stature. What was once a 5.5-foot lean-figured elf was now muscular and standing over 8 feet tall. Her hands ended in claws, her teeth fangs. Gray was gone. A beast stood before the lady, and before the lady could run, it spotted her. She spoke in a low, gnarled voice. "Now you see why you have to help me. Your machine will prevent this." Unconvinced, the lady stood in horror at the beast. She ran into the professor's office and locked the door behind her, hoping she could gather her thoughts and spare herself a few minutes. Rifling through the professor's desk, Lady Belizabeth discovered the recipe for Gray's elixir, It was a jumble of exotic oils and seed extracts. But what drew in the eye of the young scientist was the use of a few dangerous reptile venoms. The chemical compounds in the venom, in the right conditions, could alter the body and mind of a person beyond repair. In fact, the exact ingredients had recently been banned from the scientific community for the same reasons. Belizabeth ripped up the blueprints and escaped the professor's lab through a small window in the office. She never returned to the lab. Professor Eleanor Gray eventually reverted back into herself. The beast subsided, at least physically. Looking over the work Belizabeth destroyed, her mind raced over thoughts of revenge. How could the lady be so cold? How could she leave her in her time of need? Doesn't she realize she did this to me? The professor, in that moment, vowed to end the life of Lady Belizabeth Matilda Catherine Analinda Williams III. In the year to come, Gray would do two things. She would stalk Lady Belizabeth into the woods and watch her build with the gnomes, and she would take detailed notation of her observations and anonymously deliver them to Baron Belvedere Williams III. In that same year, Lord Williams III drove the gnomes from their settlement in the wood and publicly executed Joseph for trespassing and conspiring against the crown. Thus begun the end of Lady Belizabeth.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Well, I mean, we'll find out.
Easy.
So-
super chill.
I
Like,
got screwed over before, so that probably didn't end up well.
Well, Lady Belizabeth, as the screen turns dark and the letters stop scrolling in front of the eyes of our two esteemed storytellers, your eyes flutter open. It is a windy spring afternoon.
Win.
Months have gone by after your let's say bad-ish luck at the quarter college.
Yeah, that's what we call it. Bad-ish luck. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, just
Yeah.
a small fire.
Tomato, potato explosions.
tomato
Yeah. You know.
explosions, fires, the destruction of property, and
Hopes and
maybe
dreams.
some hopes and
Friendships.
dreams. Yeah, it's okay. You know, sometimes things need refinement. Things don't always work the way that we want them to.
Betrayal,
and sometimes
backstabbing, you know.
things out of our control are just that. They are out of our control. But this day is not out of your control. Lady Belizabeth Williams, on a day like this, what do you do?
Well, before we get to that, one question first. My destroyed machine just magically ended up in my workshop. What is the explanation for that?
What is the explanation for that? Is it small little gnomes making their way and taking the machine from the quarter college? Is it perhaps people from the quarter college not wanting it on their property and delivering it back to where they thought it was? But then again, who knows that you and the gnomes are working? In fact, who even knows about this laboratory? Strange indeed. If that is a question that you have been pondering these long months, why don't you roll me an investigation check?
All righty. Get out my little dice towers. That is not copyrighted. Oh, that's so lame. Okay. And you said, what was it?
It is an investigation check.
Investigation. Okay. So that's just an 11.
An 11. I think this is a very dramatically ironic moment. Lady Belizabeth Williams, though you have searched, though you have gone through a lot of contacts, your primary passion is not PI, private investigative work. No, your hyperfixation, your passion lies with creation and invention and these machines, which I think you need to get back to.
Yeah. Yes. So she does spend at least part of the day, doing what she is expected to, hanging around the ladies of not court, but high society, just sort of pretending to listen. She probably has like a gadget, like a little clockwork gadget that she kind of fiddles with when she does, as she pretends to pay attention, as she waits for the sun to go down for her to get back to the Thistle Springs and her lab. Because she made that thing right. Everything was right about it. She double checked. It should not have crashed so spectacularly. So she's going to figure out what the hell happened.
As you're kind of like in this, let's say, midday tea, surrounded by three of your ladies in waiting, you are caught drifting from the space, and you hear a loud tap on the table from a fan as it snaps open again, and an older woman, what is a name? What is a name?
I mean, I have 4.
Yeah, give me a name. Just give me, actually, Mindy, don't give me a name. When you think of somebody who would do this to you, give me a word that would describe them.
Do this? Just get my attention?
Not do this, but just like very like sternly whip you into focus.
So, I mean, the first name that comes to mind is Victoria.
Victoria, okay. Victoria, and give me a word to describe this type of person, this Victoria. Doesn't have to be a name.
Okay. Well, if she's stern and trying to get me back into,
I love it.
Then, God, my mind is going into a school for scandal, and there's one of the characters. Her last name, I believe, is Backbite.
Ooh, that one's good. Here, you also said stern.
Well, you said
which
stern.
I like too. Oh, I guess.
Okay. Audience. We need an occupation. Audience. We need a name. We need an occupation.
Yeah, this is great.
Give us a job.
So you sit next to Lady Victoria Stern, Lady Welma Backbite, and the Lady Crystal
Decanter.
I love it. Decanter. Yep. And the Lady Crystal Decanter.
Is this a bucket bouquet situation?
I don't even know what that means. But the Lady Victoria
British TV show. There was a British TV show. The main character, her name was Bucket, but she's like, no, it's Bouquet.
It's Bouquet. Cristile is how you say my name. But the Lady Stern whips her fan at you. Oh, my dear sweet girl, it is not becoming to stare off into the distance when we are discussing things.
I'm sorry, I thought that it was a lady's prerogative to look off whimsically.
Only when a man is speaking, my dear. Only when a man is speaking. No, when we are together, you must show respect, and you must learn.
Oh, I'm meant to learn, am I? All right. Well, then I'll just put this away. Yes. What am I learning today, madam?
It's very good. Oh, we are learning today how to sip soundlessly. A tried and
Oh,
true method of any
oh.
lady.
Well, all right then. Done. Is our lesson finished?
You mock decorum, my dear, but decorum is all we have.
Indeed, it is.
Indeed, it shall be. Now, Welma, Crystal, show Belizabeth how it's done. And all three of them, in perfect synchronicity, sip their tea silently, very gently, and put it back onto their plates. The fan whips again in front of you. Oh! Do not look off into the distance.
I'm sorry. My thoughts go to men and my mind gets whimsical. I must be off.
As you stand up. As you leave, my dear, I must warn you about your fancifity and your flights. Begone!
Flights. Yes, of fancy. I must be off.
Begone!
So I run off into...
And as you run, you hear the slowly dimming sound of all three of the ladies giggling fervently. Oh, such a child. Oh,
I
read
just
books.
roll my eyes so far into the back of my head I can't see for a second, and go towards the stables to get to my horse, to go the roundabout route in order to be able to get back to the Thistle Springs and my workshop in the way that I cannot be followed.
Easily enough. Why don't you just make me a stealth check?
Okay. I hate you. You know what? Screw that. I'm going to use the luck point. Fuck that. That's not much better. So it's an 8.
An 8. Sparrowhawk. Sarah, as you kind of like wake up in this space, you notice Sparrowhawk is like elegantly draped over a giant French window, and looking over the plot of land over the stables. You see with your 10 passive perception, Lady Belizabeth riding off on a horse.
Oh, the lady. Marvelous. I was just thinking of having a ride. I'll go after.
Great. Why don't you actually make me an active perception check?
Absolutely. Perception. Cool, 9. I have +0 to perception.
Yeah, great. Okay. Hey, you go down to the stables, get a horse, no problem. And you are off. In the distance, you kind of like can barely see Lady Belizabeth. And Lady, you make it into the woods, into Joseph's encampment, back to the workhouse. You walk up, the lights are on, the sun kind of like barely creeping into the canopy of trees. As you have ridden for about an hour, it is almost sunset now. You see Joseph working away from the open door of this small workshop. He is kind of like whittling away like burnt edges of almost completely repaired flight machine at this point.
You know that sort of stuff can be done by Brendan. You don't have to do the meticulous work. I thought you were the big thinker.
Well, Elizabeth, you know what I always say? It is the small projects that keep us sane. There's no job too small, especially. And he jumps down off of like the box that he is standing on and waddles over to you and reaches about the height of your shin. Especially when you are the size of me, my dear friend.
Indeed. So how is the welding whittling? What exactly have you done? I mean, I love it, but
Well, I have I'm sorry, my dear. I'm feeling faint after popping
here,
off the
let me.
box. Would you mind
let-
getting me my tea? And he
Of
goes
course,
and
of course.
sits down in a chair.
I go and get whatever tea is on the stove. I'm also kind of looking around if Brendan's around.
Yeah,
As I do.
Make an investigation check for me as you try to look for Brendan.
Investigation, you said?
Yes.
That would be a 13.
A 13. Easily enough. He's in the back. He's reading a book about like arcane glyphs and ruins, and runes. But with the 13, you also see kind of like something else outside of the door. You are looking for like specifically a person, and you see a hooded figure tying up a horse, kind of just like on the tree line, almost about 100 feet from the doorway.
Brendan?
Yes.
Were you expecting visitors? I mean, other than me?
Give me 1 second, lady. I'm just finishing this. What was that again? He closes his book and turns towards you.
Were you expecting any kind of visitor? I mean, other than me?
Other than you, no, not really.
Well, I do not wish to alarm you, but it seems that someone is nearby. They've just tied their horse off. I can't really see them, but it looks like they're in a cloak. I don't know why they would be around here unless they followed me. Damn it. I know Father didn't want me to continue in my inventions.
Hey, there's
Probably
no
he's one of
reason
his
to beat
spies.
yourself. Well. There's no need to be angry. There's no need to beat yourself up about it. It's okay.
Oh, yes, of course. So yet another thing I've done wrong.
Look, there's nothing wrong with us being in the woods. This is where we live. It's okay. Maybe it's just somebody taking their horse out and feeding them. That's what you do with horses, right? You feed them and you ride them. I've never had a horse.
Well, normally when you feed them, it is in their own stables, not in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that very much makes sense, lady.
Oh,
And you should know a lot of stuff about the outside world.
Yeah, I know at least a little.
I see what you did there, because I'm little.
Well, that was unintentional, but it makes you happy.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a good one anyway. Anyway, hey, do you want to know something?
I guess so.
I was reading up about these magic runes.
Yes.
I know that you said somebody sabotaged the flight machine.
There was no other way. Everything was perfect. And did I see anything when I was... Oh, wait, no, it was completely destroyed. Any evidence would have been destroyed too, yeah. Okay. I mean, there's no other explanation.
Here's the thing. lady, it might have been a blessing in disguise. Because if somebody could just take a simple tool and destroy the rune, what would happen if there was a hailstorm? Or you flew too close to the ground and scraped the rune a bit? If the rune is vulnerable, the whole thing is vulnerable, which means it wasn't perfect. But it could be. And he goes to the book and opens up the page, and you see pretty much the exact same glyph, but just like a little tiny, like he's like drawn in pen a little bit, and it's just like a little tiny bit different.
So, what am I looking at?
Oh, come on. You're smart. You're smarter than me anyway. Take a look. Why don't you make an Arcana check for me?
All right. There we go. That's a roll I like. That would be a 21.
Oh, yeah. This is this Brendan guy. Brendan is a smart cookie. Whatever he like came to Joseph like seeking, whatever he was when you first met him, the Brendan that is showing you this now is truly a master of his craft. And you see the glyph is altered just slightly, so that it can cast a second spell on top of the protection it provides for the machine itself. A spell that would make the rune itself impervious to any damage.
It's so simple.
That's what I was saying.
Brendan, I could kiss you, and I do. I take his hand and I just kiss him on the mouth. You are marvelous. Where were you the first time around? And then I go off back into the workshop where Joseph is. And I take the rune as well.
You hear a thud as Brendan just faints. I'm okay.
You're more than okay. And I go into. Oh, damn it, I forgot the tea. And I run and I get the tea.
As you were getting the tea, somebody has already poured you 2 cups. A figure in a black hood and black gloves hands you 2 cups of tea.
I take out my quarterstaff and I'm like, who are you and why are you here?
Please do not be alarmed, Lady Belizabeth. It is. She removes her hood, and you see It takes you a minute to recognize who this is, just because of the scarring and the disfigurement. One of her ears is completely missing. She has no hair anymore. She wears an eye patch over her left eye, but like the bloodshot and like yellowing of like the iris that stares back at you is distinctively that of Professor Eleanor Gray. I've come to ask of you a favor. Yes, the money's been great, but I've run into a bit of complication in my work.
Surprised you've come to me. The last time we spoke, I ruined your life, as you have said.
Yes, your invention might have proved. She kind of like starts to cry a little bit in her good eye. Complicating. And
that's a funny way of putting it, yes.
I find this no laughing matter.
Neither do I. Now, why are you here?
Like I said, I come to you with no ill will, and I'm sorry if my words have wounded you. I was in quite a deal of distress at the moment. Your payments as my benefactor in these past long, winding, recovering months have been nothing short of a miracle.
That was
But
the
it
least I
seems,
could
my
do.
dear scientist, my dear inventor, more of a miracle is required.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what I can do. I'm far more disgraced in your field than you are.
Let us not beat around the bush, lady.
By all means.
Your machine was successful.
Yes, it was.
Now, it was not as indestructible as you led us all to believe it was, but it did the task. It was unbelievable for the few moments it flew, but it leads me to believe you are the only mind that could come up with a solution for my particular problem. You see, I am not just an academic. I have my scientific endeavors as well, and where your talents lie with engineering, botany, and alchemy, are where my interests reign. And I have come up with a solution.
I thought you said you weren't going to beat around the bush. What is your point?
It is pertinent you know all the facts before I ask my question, lady. Please. I have a solution, an elixir, a tonic, if you will, that needs help coming together. Some sort of centrifugal force through a prolonged period of time is needed to combine the elements in a certain way as to produce the desired effect.
Which is?
Now, I ask for your help, not to take over my entire scientific research. No,
You ask
like
for my
many,
help, which means I need to know what I am getting myself into.
like many projects, it is secretive until it works. If I tell anyone, even somebody I trust, and this gets out, where is my saving grace, Belizabeth? Look at me.
Is it something that will ultimately be something I regret? A drug, a weapon, something that will cause a negative to our world? Because if that is what you ask, I am walking out the door.
I see your hesitation, but you know me, Belizabeth.
Do I?
You look at
I
me with such
thought I knew
disdain.
you.
You
Oh,
thought-
oh, that is rich coming from you. Do you remember what you said to me those months ago? I ruined your life because someone sabotaged my machine. You threw me away. And I'm supposed to just come back to you with open arms, grovel before you? I have done that. So do not expect me not to be at least somewhat trepidatious of your sudden appearance when for months there has been nothing but silence and anger from your direction. At least give me some credit.
I believe in giving credit where credit is due. And yes, it may be a harsh reality that what you did, whether you were sabotaged or not, has ruined my life and by extent my career. The latter is something that I have been painstakingly trying to put back together. And yes, my dear, I know that you have groveled and you have apologized and you have thrown money at a problem. And I'm sorry that you feel insignificant, and I'm sorry that you feel bad about it, that you feel guilt. But this is not something that Daddy can make go away so easily. I'm sorry that my words have hurt you, have dashed your precious ego. But the fact of the matter remains. The machine you built destroyed me. I don't care who else had a hand in it. I know for certain you did. And in the moment, yes, I was angry. But now, you have a chance to really do something about it. To work towards putting something right. And I am sorry that you feel my intentions are impure. I want nothing more than to help this community and to help the people of this world. I do not wish ill will. I do not wish to build a drug or a weapon. No, only something to help. And if that is not enough for you, well, I would threaten to go somewhere else, but I am very desperate.
She nods. Me too. And I go to the workshop and I say all this to Zoseph.
Sparrowhawk, make a stealth check for me.
Certainly. Stealth, that's me. Cool. I got a natural 1 for a 5.
There is a loud noise outside, like a horse. A lot of cussing as well. Sparrowhawk, you were thrown from your horse.
She's not a horse girl. She's a ship girl. She's a water girl, not a horse girl.
I keep
And
telling
Sarah, this is where you kind of come into the story. Your eyes open, and it is a beautiful sunset dusk. You are walking through the woods, your hand sweating a little bit as it holds a delicate and cold hand of a small petite young young duchess. Her hair like bounds of golden curls. Her cheeks just kissed by the air that is slowly getting colder. Her dress a little too revealing. As you walk with her, hoping to get a little moonlight dalliance, Jonathan, you hear the sound of a neighing horse in the distance.
Okay, you said Sarah. You didn't say. So I was like, well, Sparrowhawk's going to thrown from a horse. Me. Great. Cool.
Oh, Laura, yes. I didn't say Sarah.
It's like, what? I was like, wow, Sarah's busy. God, okay. Okay, so I hear lots of ruckus happening, or I just hear a horse.
Yeah, and the cussing of the Sparrowhawk.
Is this close enough to the Thistle Springs that I hear it?
Oh, you are the first one to hear it.
I'm the first. That's what I
Yes.
thought. Okay.
Yes. You at like almost the exact same place where you saw Professor Gray dismount her horse. You kind of hear this disturbance.
So in the process of going to Zoseph, I hear this, and I'm like, it seems that this is not the best location to continue these talks. All right, I agree to your request. Just meet me back here or at the university tomorrow at noon, I guess. Just being very distracted by the fact that people keep coming here and this is supposed to be secret. But all right. And as I walk out, I was like, and I truly am sorry for how everything turned out. And then walk away before she has a chance to respond.
I will leave the address with you, Joseph. Tell her to meet me here. Nobody sees this, but Joseph is handed a slip of paper with an address that he will soon give to you, Lady Belizabeth Williams. Meanwhile, as you walk out, you see the Sparrowhawk on the floor, their horse completely just bounding in the air, stands up on two legs, and runs off into the woods.
Jonathan would have absolutely taken that. Well, after all, here's just been like, "Oh, darling, I want to go for this time. I so much love this time together, but there seems to be some disturbance, and I worry for your safety." And he kisses her hand and goes, "Go back and be safe. I'll find you later."
Oh yes, Jonathan. I love
that hurts my soul.
I only ask you do me one thing before I leave.
Oh no.
Of course, anything.
Whisper my name into my ear.
Just all I know is the Duchess of my heart.
Oh yes.
Goodbye. Run off.
Hey,
Adieu, my darling. Adieu.
Say my name. Say my name.
Later.
So
I
I
will
get
wait for you.
Great.
So I get my horse. I get on my horse and go after the horse that ran away. To catch it and bring it back.
Oh, make a dexterity check for me.
Dex. Where's my dex? That's a saving throw. I don't want that. That is 13.
With a 13, easily enough, Sparrowhawk, you see Lady Belizabeth bound on her horse and cut in front of your steed. Belizabeth, make a animal handling check for me.
That hit the thing. Okay. So that is, where's my animal hand? Oh, nothing. So that was 12.
12. Okay. Describe what you do to get this horse to come to you.
That I grab the reins and then just kind of it's all right, calm down. It's all right. Start petting its head. It's all right. All right. Give it a chance to calm down a little bit. And then just trot it back, holding the reins to where Sparrowhawk is. I believe you lost this. And I just kind of throw the reins down.
I grab them. Thank you, milady. I never gotten the hang of these things. What brings you out here on this fine day?
I was going to ask you. It's rather far in the woods.
Well, I was lounging in the French window and I spotted you taking a little trip and I thought I'd join you.
Me? What is it about me that makes me so enticing?
Goodness. Old friends like us? I shouldn't think that would be necessary to even say. Thought for sure you'd be up for a spot of fun.
Fun has been rather lacking as of late, to be sure. I like to go into the woods to clear my head.
It's an interesting place you got here. What are these little buildings about?
Oh, they tell me the gnomes are about, this, that, and the other. I don't pay much attention to them.
Oh, fair enough. Well, now that we're here, how about a nice romp through the woods?
I suppose while we're here,
It is at that moment you hear a shrill, squeaking sound coming from the other end of the path, and the trotting of feet. Oh, Jonathan, I'll always remember you.
oh God, Jonathan is well.
Oh, Jonathan! Lovely to
Hey.
see you.
Oh, look, the whole gang is here. What are you doing following me? Were you sent by my father, or were you sent by Percival? Even worse.
I wasn't sent by anyone.
Hello. First off, I heard what can only be described as a ruckus, and I thought it would be prudent to come and see what was going on. Also, you saved me from a very clingy woman, so thank you for whatever that was. Don't know. Okay, that voice you just heard, what's her name? Do you know? Belizabeth, you have to know. Squeaky voice, Duchess.
That doesn't really.
I don't know
narrow
anything
it
else about
down.
her. I can't give you any. I don't know what her hair color
Of course
is.
you don't. I swear, I do not know why Percival hangs out with you.
Because
You
he
are a
loves.
bad influence.
No, he loves me. I keep him interesting.
I think bad
Um,
influences are good for keeping people interesting.
Jonathan, what's your passive insight?
Just 22.
With a 22, you see like a tear like at the edge of Lady Belizabeth's eye. And you could tell that like something has rattled her. She's upset about something. Or she was at least a little bit ago. But you also see the faintest bit of like black and white static electricity as this tear kind of drops down her cheek and off of her face. And as you follow it down to the floor, it kind of like eats through the reality. And that like black and white transfers to the dirt for only a second.
Having seen this, Jonathan absolutely stops being so jovial and does become a little bit more brotherly. And he. Oh, Elizabeth, what? I'm very sorry. I did not know. It did sound like there was some distress happening.
That was my horse, I'm afraid. He decided to go off on his own.
Yes.
I hope you're all
now,
right. But no.
So now that everything has been resolved, we may as well go back into town. Sure. Father is wondering where I am.
He doesn't care. No one knows. Come on. What's wrong? Let's take a walk.
Fine. But I don't get off my horse.
All right.
I lead my horse.
Yeah, he holds like he's going to hold on to the reins of her horse just to be like, let's just take a nice walk. You can be up there. It's totally fine. What has happened?
An old friend has returned. That is even the word to call it.
Is that what has the storm clouds over your head?
I suppose you could call it that. Eleanor.
Oh, Eleanor Gray.
Yes.
She's still alive.
Well, yes, she didn't die. I brought her back.
Oh, no. I know you did. Sorry, I lost track of her. Other things.
Yes.
Anyway, what did she want?
I'm not exactly sure, but my expertise, which is surprising considering how much she threw it in my face before. I still don't know what to make of it.
Well, no matter what might have happened, you're still the most brilliant mind in the country.
You say that. I'm really not so sure.
Belizabeth.
You flew, Belizabeth. You flew.
Yes, we saw
For all
it.
the good it did.
Okay, so you know that every brilliant mind has setbacks. Your own beloved Leonardo, none of his inventions worked in his time. You made them work. You are fairly brilliant. And that is not just your brother talking through me.
Because of your intent, I will let this light against Mr. Da Vinci slide.
It's no slight. He's brilliant. You, therefore, are more brilliant than him. You made
dear.
it work. Take the compliment.
I will let it linger. How's about that?
Excellent. When I think he does glance at the Sparrowhawk and then over and then back up to Belizabeth and says, "So what is the plan? When are you meant to? How are you meant to find out more about what she wants?"
No, I'm not exactly sure. I told her that I'd meet her around noon. Although it's kind of rushed. I heard.
Down the path, you see a small little gnome, Brendan, running towards you with a
Brendan!
white slip of paper in his hand.
I jump off the horse immediately.
Jonathan
Did you
pulls
run
his
all the way
rapier.
here?
Jonathan's like,
I hold up. It's like,
He faints.
Jonathan, he's just a
this
little
is a
one.
friend.
this
This is a friend. And then I go down by him. I like kneel down and I shake him. It's like,
Brendan,
Brendan, it's all right. I'm sorry that my brother's companion startled you. So, did you run here all by yourself?
It's only a little jog, lady. It's okay. The scary professor woman left you this.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
Which is very
You are-
important.
You flatter me, Brendan. You
Oh,
always do.
I couldn't flatter you.
Lovely to meet
She
you,
blushes.
Brendan.
Hi.
Listen. I'm so sorry about that. You did come at a pace, and I have had some pretty vicious things happen from gnomes and small children. So, listen, you could have been deadly.
Well, if you think about it, everybody comes at a pace.
It's like a genuine laugh for the first time in a long time, certainly for the day.
So with
you
my
always know what to say to make me smile, Brendan.
with my passive insight of 22, how into each other are these two people?
They're in love. They're in love.
He files that away.
Like, yeah,
Nope.
Belizabeth's got massive. I mean, he's not Leonardo, but
He's
next best thing.
He does
Yeah.
kind of like,
This,
what would Leonardo think?
and this is the single most wonderful, impressive humanoid being that this gnome has ever met in his entire life. She's completely taken away.
Yeah, she is just the fact that he is so sweet and seemingly simple, but also so incredibly intelligent. That just, that gets to her. So
You hear,
always
you
looks
hear,
forward to.
you hear music playing, and their eyes flutter a little bit as they look at each other.
Well, it's a delight to meet you. Any friend of Lady Belizabeth is a friend of mine, and my sword is at your service if ever it is needed.
Oh, well, I hope I don't need it. And,
I hope you don't either.
well, you have a nice looking sword, mister.
I do. It's not as good as hers. No, listen, I don't even know why I drew it, because honestly, again, like, she's
So put
absolutely-
it back,
I
Jonathan.
did.
It's
I
okay. I
did.
get it. I understand. I'm a pretty imposing figure.
You're absolutely fearsome. Absolutely fearsome.
That's right. Don't you come near the lady with that thing. I'll stop you.
I
I'm
appreciate
just
you,
kidding. I
young
wouldn't
friend.
hurt
He
you.
holds his hand out like down. He's like, I'm Jonathan Barrett, by the way. Good to meet you.
Oh, it is very nice to meet you both. My name is Brendan Thistlespring.
Brendan,
Yes.
Brendan.
good to meet you.
Oh, it's very good to meet you as well, Mr. Jonathan.
Yes, he's a friend of my brother Percival, and then the Sparrowhawk works with my father.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
you
very fancy people.
I suppose the why they're out here in the woods is still something of a mystery.
Again, I was on a walk with a very proper lady, and
What
there
else
was a
is new,
disturbance. Okay, listen. Everyone, I have to get married at some point. That's the whole thing. Whatever.
Oh, dear.
No, I know it sucks. It's awesome. I hate
Your
it.
poor
It's
wife.
great. I will do very well by whatever.
I just turn to
person I'm
Brendan, just be
stuck
like, these silly people.
Oh,
Right.
I get it. What I wouldn't give to be married.
I don't see that look. I just sort of like, they're silly
Have a
people and I
wife.
don't even see it.
And kids and settle down. Have a white picket fence of my own and a little shop out back where I can build inventions.
Well, that we agree on. Rest of it, I'm not so sure.
Well,
Seems so
Jonathan leans
domestic.
over to Sparrowhawk and goes, I don't want to think about how that would work, but little tiny bit human gnome, wild.
Oh, is that
you
what's
might
going
be,
on? Lovely.
You
Yeah,
might be
that's-
pretty high up there, sir, but I can hear everything you're saying.
Listen, good luck.
Good luck with what?
Everything
Yeah.
with life. I'm very impressed and I'm very interested.
Well,
Hey.
good luck with you as well. I gotta get back to the shop. The
Yes,
old man needs his
Make
tea.
sure he.
Oh, you go to the
Yes, I
shop.
was about to say. Well, I mean, gnomes. No need to
shop.
worry about that. Yes, tell your father I said hello and thank you for sending me this. I must have forgot it in my haste.
Oh, well, it's always good to see you, lady.
It's always good to
Jonathan.
see you, Brendan.
And I don't think I got your name, miss, but it's nice to have your sword. Goodbye.
And I just look at him as he walks off for a little bit.
What a delightful little man.
He is.
You see, he clicks his heels as he dances down the path.
He's looking for a wife, Belizabeth.
So he said, let us go off. And then I look at the note and what it says.
It is a simple address.
Is there a time?
There is no time. A simple address on the far edge of town, kind of like the notorious bad street, the other side of the tracks.
So
The carriage tracks.
as I
The carriage,
yeah,
of course. Yes.
as I kind of peek over because she's still on the ground. Did you get on the horse to read this note, or are you reading it as you're standing there?
I look at it and I kind of close it and get back on my horse. It's like I don't want you to see it, so if you're trying to, I am actively trying to keep it concealed.
I have to definitely want to try to see if I can sneak it.
Okay, I need you to roll a perception. I need you to roll a sleight of hand, Lady Belizabeth.
Oh, I want to. That's one I hate it. I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna do it.
Well, I rolled like shit, so
Well, you rolled better than me, so hold on.
I don't know
Okay,
about that.
That's better. Okay, that's better. So, because I always
on,
pick lucky for a
passive.
reason.
Passive perception. Come on, man.
Okay, so that was sleight of hand is 12.
Yeah, no, it's
12.
9.
9. You
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
not.
my first roll was 3, so yeah.
Jonathan, you do not see what is on this note.
Okay.
Is that where you're supposed to meet?
I love you. I love you, Sparrowhawk. If only we were compatible. Anyway.
Here's the thing. Jonathan might not know. Sarah knows exactly what is on that piece of paper, though.
Yeah.
And so does Laura.
Indeed.
Oh yeah. Is that? It is just a message from Eleanor. Now,
Well,
the more
then-
specifics about what she wants. That is
Oh,
all.
specifics.
So yes, what are the
Yes.
specifics?
It is a message to me, nosy,
No,
impudent.
I'm sorry. The woman was quite belligerent to you many months ago. I'm
You
very
normally
sorry.
read other people's correspondences.
I
Some
didn't
things are
read
meant
it.
to be private.
I didn't read it. You are.
And I just start writing off. I wanna
Follow.
go.
In her wake, and also behind you, a path almost connecting the two of them. There is an almost imperceptible silver like trail on the ground that sparkles and crackles with this weird otherworldly energy, connecting the paths of Brendan and Lady Belizabeth.
Well, that is absolutely adorable.
Jeez.
God
All
help
right.
him.
Oh yeah, I'm following along on my horse.
Oh,
Okay.
can I get a
as
ride?
well
Can I
I
get a ride?
can.
Can I let me? Can I ride
you-
with you?
Can you
Can I
ride
ri-
these things? Are you any
I
good?
do. It's kind of a requirement for who I am as a
Good.
person.
Here, you take the reins. I
Hops
hate
up.
these things. They
Listen.
smell and they're rowdy and
You're describing pirates. She just rides.
I don't try to ride pirates.
Well, depends on which kind of pirate it is, I think. But no, fair point. Maybe you say you don't trust pirates with 4 legs. I don't know. Are there pirates with more than 4 legs? I'm gonna drive. Okay.
I've
So-
met pirates
As you
with 3.
take the lanes, the reins, Jonathan, the entire horse turns into static and disappears out of existence, and you two fall onto the ground.
Oh,
Well.
shit. Again? Wait, where'd it go this time?
Okay. So we need to do something. Can I roll like some kind of maybe like investigation or something to see if I can find any more of the static that we're supposed to avoid?
Absolutely.
It's not good. No, it's another 9. Man, these both dice jail.
A strange set of circumstance. You don't see any more of the static.
Lady Elizabeth, wait for us.
You are alone in the woods.
I can still shout.
Right. Is the silver line still there?
Silverline is gone. There's no more. It is faded. You saw it like as it appeared.
Right.
We still need to follow her.
We do. I guess back towards the towards home. I
A
suppose.
tree statics and disappears.
What the hell?
Then
right.
another tree and another, and pretty soon the forest all starts to disappear and static away, and you are in just a space of pure static, and very similar to when you have the hood placed over you, in the same type. You see kind of in this reality, in this space, is like even the clothes on your being and the skin that you are inhabiting starts to flicker away at this moment. You see 2 words, happily and ever.
Well, this is certainly odd.
I'm
Do you hate
100%.
this? I hate this.
I really hate this. I'm definitely talking to Laura now. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, but we heard the story. Okay,
We were going along with it. Why did it fritz out?
is there
Happily
anything else,
ever.
or is it just that black screen?
It's not a black screen. It is
Or
this like
the
static space, like watching a television channel that isn't quite there. But in this black space, you see in these like blue letters, "Happily ever."
Can we walk? Can we move through it, or are we stuck? Like, does it feel like
It feels like you're moving, but everything it is like it is endless. The sea and these words are like so large and looming in the space. It doesn't feel like you can move towards them and make any kind of leeway or whatever the hell.
All right, so let's assume this is some sort of communication for us, especially happily
Yeah.
ever. Are they saying that they want to give it a happy ending? This editor person?
did you see that silver line
No, what's
that
that for?
connecting them? There was a silver line connecting Miss Many Names and a little dude.
Okay. All right. Yeah. He was pretty
Like a
adorable.
silver shiny, like again, it is adorable. I can't think of the logistics. It hurts my head. But anyway, also she's intense. And which is kind of good because he's really chill.
It's true.
So okay. If I turn around, is there anything like if I turn, do those words stay in front of me all the time?
They do
Is
not.
there anything behind me?
Yes, a lot of
What is-
little tiny static dots and
Are there any other words?
an expanse. No other words. No.
Okay.
Maybe we're supposed to finish it. Do you have a pen we could write after here?
As you say, after the words "after" appear, the phrase disappears. A question mark appears, and we are in the next scene.
Jesus.
Lady Belizabeth.
I don't get paid enough.
I know, right?
Lady Belizabeth, you arrive at this address the next day at your agreed upon time, noon, and you find under the high.
MacLeod gone because it's the
it is a
bad part of town.
It is a spring day, but there are clouds that loom above you. It is kind of
Poetic.
a very like musty and pungent area of town. The cobblestone that you walk upon is dirty and unkept, and the tiny shack that you approach. The door is cracked open, and as unappealing and uninviting as this small space seems, you can hear working on the inside.
I gently tap on the door.
Almost in an instant, with a full coat on, gloves and goggles, a kind of like disheveled Professor Gray opens the door. Well, it does seem like you've arrived. She takes off her goggles. Come on in. I will show you where you will be working.
Nods and walks in.
Over the next hour or so, she gives you a tour of this small space. It is a large studio space with work tables and a surprising amount of tools and ingredients like oils and salves and like leaves and even like live animals. And off of this space is like a small office that seems to be closed at the moment. She gives you like a rundown of the tools and basically describes to you a centrifuge that needs to go fast and it needs to sustain long. So very similar to like how your flight machine was able to like stay sustained and fly without any like other enchantments or things like constantly being put into it. That is what she needs to complete her tonic. And as like the sun kind of like goes down, you spend a couple of hours here kind of like going over like with her, like going like over blueprints, like creating, designing. Is there anything like specifically you want to know, like, or any questions you have in this space?
I mean, I assume it's just a medical centrifuge where it would like hold vials and things. It's like with the, because the flying machine worked through magic, I assume that magic would also need to be used in order to keep this thing going. It wouldn't just be a mechanical thing. Okay. So how big does it need to be?
It doesn't need to be very large. It
Okay.
can sit on a table, but like very similar to like a medical center. Well, actually, like as you are musing about this, why don't you give me either a tinker tool or just a straight intelligence check?
Okay. Why? I hate you. Okay. So that's much better. 24.
Oh, with a 24, the ideas are a coming. She picked the right person for this job. Instantly, you are there. You are working. It takes like your entire brain space, but you and Professor Gray work into the night. And like yes, a small like medical centrifuge with many different vials and a way to sustain a constant spinning. You easily you could do this. Um, well, you can easily plan it out. The creating of it, it will be nothing short of masterful. But these ideas coming to you, this knowing that you are instantly filled with confidence and like a renewed vigor for like a new project. It might take you like a considerable amount of time, but with the right tools, the right funding, you know that you can make this work.
And I convey that.
Well, Lady Williams, I am quite pleased. I feel like I came to the exact person. I'm very grateful for your help.
It's been nice working with you again.
Well, settle in. Make this space your home. You will have whatever you need, and, well, you are the benefactor. Well, I will freshen up and you may see yourself out.
Right.
She goes into her office, locks the door behind her, and you can work through the night and go home whenever you feel fit. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I'll work on it a little bit more there, but then I want to take it to the Thistle Springs to get any more information,
Yeah.
Find out about the runes, the stuff's like what would be the best way to, because, putting it together will be masterful, and I know two masters.
Mm-hmm. I think easily enough. Why don't you roll me just a straight charisma saving throw to see if for the rest of the time you work on this, like it is okay to like bring them in and share your work with them.
I have a -1 to charisma.
It's okay. You can do this.
Yeah, this is luck point time. It's not better, but it's better than what would have been a 0.
Okay.
So this is a 6.
A 6. Okay,
Not great.
not quite beat an 11. Um, actually, it is 5 below the DC. So this is kind of a big failure here. You after I think the first time you bring this research to the Thistle Springs, it is very much looked downwardly upon by Professor Gray. You get she was impressed at the beginning. She's very grateful for your help, but you feel like if you push things too far, then like the relationship might be like unfixable, unsalvageable. This might be something you need to do by yourself. And we're going to do a little skill check. You would have got advantage if you would have got the Thistle Springs help, but now these rolls will all be made straight. You will be working on this project for the next few months. It is spring now, and we will do some rolls to actually get you into the winter time. In that time, Sparrowhawk, Jonathan, Sera, Laura, is there anything you would like to do to help the Lady Belizabeth, either with her knowledge or without her knowledge? Or hinder her? You know how this is supposed to go, so let me know, like, kind of like what role you want to make and for what reason, and we'll do that and maybe help her, maybe hurt her.
Okay, so I'm no good at this, but I think I want to investigate to try to find out exactly what Gray has been up to so that I can best foil it.
Why? You ruined my flight machine. Now you...
Okay. I'm gonna make this is gonna be an imposed investigation check. She is going to be looking for like solutions, and you're going to be looking to
I
sabotage.
don't. To be clear, I don't want to hinder Belizabeth. I want to hinder Gray.
Gray. Yes, I completely understand. Yes.
All right,
Could
15.
before I was saying before she rolls, I was ask if I can give her bardic inspiration, but I'm going to hold on to that.
Yeah.
You can. Yes, that
Can
could
I?
be your thing. Is you can give Sparrowhawk bardic inspiration, but that will be what you are doing.
Okay. Yes, I would like to give bardic inspiration. So that's a D10.
Okay.
So that adds a 5, so it's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Give me 1 second. I gave you.
Listen, Belizabeth, we're just making your story like we're giving the spice. We're just making it spicy.
You're ruining my life. That's
No,
what you're
spice.
doing.
I'm
Ruin-
actually trying to help you right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you tried to kill me before.
So with a 21, you do not quite catch on to what Gray is like doing. You know, like the broad strokes, Sera, but the Sparrowhawk
Right.
knows nothing, nor do you know the specifics of what she is doing.
Curses.
Okay. And then you gave the bardic inspiration to Sparrowhawk, which is just a technically bonus action. So if you want to use an action to do anything, you can as well.
Okay. Let's see, shall we? These are very good questions. What are your thoughts on, I guess it's not a spell. I was going to say, what are your thoughts on spells? But Bardic isn't a spell. So let's see what I got magic-wise. Sorry, I just found something really mean that I'm gonna do. I'm
Why?
because I love you and I want to make it spicy.
I
I
don't think that word means what you think it means.
love it. There's just gonna be one day that I like, obviously not when she's working. Like I'll just be coming to like check on her, as a friend, whatever. I am going to cast Modify Memory.
Okay.
And that is a Wisdom save.
You're going to do it on Lady Belizabeth.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, as you perform this spell, would you describe to me the scene? Where
Sure.
are we? On what day do you go up to her, and how do you do this?
I imagine that it is some day when she couldn't get away from her family's home, so she's outside alone, like brooding / frantically working on something. She's like doing all the calculations and doing the sketches and just find like a private place where she could, but away from the house. And Jonathan kind of saunters up, goes, "What are you doing? What you working on? Is it from your friend? The one who got really angry at you, was really belligerent."
I am doing work, and I gather it all up.
Huh?
Since when are you interested in the mechanics of, well, anything, really?
An educated man. I am interested in all sorts of
You
things.
are only educated as much as it can get you into a lady's panties. Let's be real.
No, I actually do have a degree from a very prestigious college. I spent a lot of time there, but no, I also
Jonathan?
have that.
Could you give me a charisma saving throw?
Okay, hell yeah. Am I just being? Is it against being charmed?
No, it is not.
Charisma saving throw. That's just a 24. No big deal.
Just a 24. Okay.
Just a 24.
Not quite enough. You hear a familiar voice ring from behind you. Now, Jonathan, leave my sister alone. She's had enough of your torture. As Percival trots towards you in a cricket outfit. Oh, Belizabeth, is he giving you a hard time?
I was taking an interest in your favorite sister.
He's trying to
She
sneak
is
a
my
peek
favorite
at
sister.
my drawings and sketches. Is what he's doing.
The
He's trying to get a peek at my work.
Oh, and you know what the worst thing he did was?
What was it,
He
Percival?
didn't say hi to me first. I'm a
How
jealous boy.
dare you,
He gives
Jonathan?
you a big hug, Jonathan.
He gives him a huge hug. This is Percy. Yeah, he gives a huge hug back. And he's just like, "I'm so sorry. I will never do it again."
Did you
As
know
you should.
Jonathan has dalliances in the woods with little blonde-haired women?
Why am I not surprised? And how do you know about this, Percival?
I tell
Are
him.
you not there with him? I mean,
No,
how
no,
else
no,
would
no.
you know?
No. He's not invited.
Wait, my brother is not invited to your dalliances.
To my dalliances.
I mean, I thought it was a party after all.
You see Percival put his head down and his face is like bright red.
Arms still around Percival. He just leads it. Percy, she doesn't understand. Somebody has to educate her at some point, and it will not be me. Anyway.
You two in your rowdy speeches. I was about to go play a rousing game of cricket, and I was wondering if you two would join me.
Well, I can't say no to you, Percy.
Of course, that's why I asked.
Absolutely love
I
to.
give him a big ol' hug.
No, he's mine.
I just give you looks that's like he's my brother.
Oh, there's plenty of Percival to go around.
Percival Blakeney or Faneuil Edward Williams III.
You
What
say
she said.
that faster than
Scandalous.
Oh, Jonathan, don't tell me you don't know my name. Jonathan, say my name. Say my name. And he tickles you. Say my name. And obviously
Absolutely.
starts making fun of you. Say my name, Jonathan. Say it.
Yes,
I'm
go
the
on.
Duchess of what?
Say
I
it,
told you're the
Jonathan.
Duchess of a pain in my ass. All right, I told you that in confidence.
Jonathan. So, riddle me this. Before I so elegantly arrived and offered you a escape route, what were you two discussing?
And as I said, he was trying to sneak a peek at my work. It's
I
my work,
she
Jonathan.
She looked as though she was being extremely industrious, and I did take to heart what you said last time, that I had to be more kind because she's been going through a hard time. So I was taking an interest. I shan't do it again, Elizabeth, if it's so difficult to take my company.
Elizabeth, that is true. I did tell Jonathan to take an interest in you.
Well, there's
It
a
might
difference
just be-
between taking an interest in snooping. A lady needs her privacy, as
Oh, he's-
Jonathan wouldn't know.
Oh, out here in the open.
Elizabeth, he's harmless. He's just a rowdy lad.
That is how they fool you. And I bop him on the nose.
Oh, sister dear, you are young. You have much to learn. Jonathan couldn't hurt a fly, and he's as mischievous as my left toenail.
That is the
Oh,
most
I
mischievous
don't want
one,
to
though.
know where your toenail has been then.
It's very clean and crisp. That is the definition. Oh, that's not the word I meant. Oh, my. Anyway, I was going to play some
Percival.
cricket.
Don't be vulgar.
I'm not being vulgar. I've just had a few cups.
Purse, go set up
Don't
the
let
wickets.
father know.
Go set up the wickets. We'll be along.
Jonathan, that's what I have you for. I'm a lord, after all. He
After
takes your
all.
hand. Well, come on.
All right. I'll come along.
Okay.
And he follows, but looking very pointedly at Belizabeth, like, come on.
I'll be there in a minute.
No. If you have to do this, so do I.
Leave her be. Leave her be, Jonathan.
You said you wanted her to play as well.
Well,
Are you trying to get me alone, Purse?
I would never. You're such
You
a.
would.
He's bright red. You're such a dog. Yeah, wait, no. He runs away.
I'll have to catch that one soon. I won't pry into your work. But you should take a break. You look rather frazzled. Getting some actual fresh air and stepping away might actually be helpful.
I suppose. Sunshine and a glass of tea does everyone a bit of good. Nothing else just
And-
brushes out the cobwebs.
And while she's gathering things, and
Arthur shows up.
Purse is gone. Purse is going away. Whatever. He does just
second brother.
makes a kind of waves his hand. These are not the droids you're looking for. A little bit of a Star Battle hand gesture. And says, you've got the answer you need. So yeah, so that's the modify. I'm gonna try to replace that so to make her believe that she has done the work that she needs and she's ready to go. Just to make it spicy. So I don't know if she passes that wisdom check or not, but
Yeah,
What's
make
the
a wisdom.
save?
It's a wisdom
It's-
save.
wisdom save of 18.
All right. No, hold on. This is why I always have lucky. It's my favorite thing.
I wish I had silvery barbs.
Yeah, suck it. Nope, don't pass.
Yeah. So
Oh, what did you get?
I got 7. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 7 and a 5. So
Okay, Jonathan.
Mhm.
How does the spell take root? Could you also roll me a stealth check for that
Yeah,
casting that spell?
absolutely.
does Tarthur see it?
Hi, Tarthur. Sup, Tarthur? Well, my friends, that would be a nat 20 for a total of 28. So the answer is definitely to crit.
Okay, cool. With the 28, very deftly, you weave the arcane sigils in the air, say the words, and what does Lady Belizabeth believe? With modify memory, you are able to, I believe, rewrite. Um,
Yeah, it's meant to rewrite a moment in time, I thought.
yes,
Yeah,
that
and
lasts no more than 10 minutes. You can
Mhm.
permanently eliminate all memory of the event, allowing the target to recall the event with perfect clarity and exacting detail, change its memory of the details, or create a memory of some other event.
I am going to change the memory that she has of this moment of where she's been frantically trying to work and find an answer to from being frustrated and trying to find an answer to she did it. It's all in her book. Good. I can be done for the day and let's go play cricket. Like that's that that's
Got it.
what I'm
Okay.
yeah. Just to kind of put
Easy
her
enough.
behind a little bit.
Okay. So with that modify memory, um, for the spring months, I need Lady Elizabeth to make me a Tinker's Tools check, but you're going to do it with disadvantage because some of the knowledge is lost. You thought you had figured that one part out, but I guess
But
you
now
hadn't.
it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Okay, so that's just D20 with my proficiency, right?
Yes, and all you got to do is beat a 15.
That one hit the thing. Okay.
And hey Cam,
So-
are we treating spell slots like so this since we're doing skill checks, it's like a long rest isn't like
Mhm.
we're gonna be in this. So if I use a spell slot, even though like I will have in game gone through a long rest, I haven't, right? Is that
Yeah, we'll say that for like this section. This will
Yeah.
be like a long, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so good to know. So that would be a 15 exactly.
15 exactly. Great.
Nice.
Even with the setback, you make headway, and into the summer, you work. Um, your plans for the flight machine kind of put aside. Everything focused on the centrifuge. Anything you two want to do?
um Sarah, is there anything that
Yes, I'm going to try to worm my way into Gray's confidence with my charm and sparkling personality.
Okay. This is going to be a contested roll. They are going to use their insight, which is only a +1,
I like that.
and you are going to use either
Persuasion, perhaps?
it could be persuasion, it could be deception, it could be intimidation, depending on what tactic you want to use.
I think persuasion is appropriate.
Okay.
So I
Beat
will.
a 14 for me.
Cool, 28.
That does it, and that does it quite well. To what end are you trying to get in their good graces? What is the desired effect?
To try to get into their confidence and
Mhm.
be and learn that way of sort of become a confidant and be trusted by her so that I can um, worm my way into her secrets.
Okay. Easily enough, you very charmingly worm your way into your secrets. And through the summer months, Lady Belizabeth, you see the Sparrowhawk coming in and out of the laboratory.
One thing I
and
do want to do a little bit, I want to, like, in one of my sort of rides through the woods, because I am so focused on this, I want to take like something from the house, like a little bauble, maybe like a little figurine or something, and do some magic tinkering on it.
Hell
So
yeah.
that it says, like, see, I worked this out, hopefully. I know I've been neglecting our work together. No, I miss you terribly, and you are both in my thoughts. All of my love, Belizabeth.
oh, that's so
So
cute.
sweet.
Was that sending?
It's
No.
a magical tinkering. It's essentially, I made a little tape recorder out of this little figurine that can
So
fit.
cute.
And it can fit 25 words among some other things, but I picked words. And so
I love artificers. So
they
fun.
have something to listen to know that I'm still thinking about them, even though I'm working away.
So sweet.
You are going to get back a little parcel, and on it reads in Joseph's handwriting. We're so
And I speak
proud of
Gnomish, so
We're so proud of you. You're doing things we couldn't even imagine. Use this in your endeavors. And as you open up um, the parcel, you will see let me read it for you. You see an all-purpose tool. It looks like a simple screwdriver, but as you touch it, it can transform into a various type of tools. But when you hold it, you will gain a +2 to spell attack rolls and saving throw DCs of your artificer spells. And as an action, you can focus on the tool, and you can choose a cantrip that you didn't know from any class list. For 8 hours, you can cast this cantrip, and it counts as an artificer cantrip from you. And then you can only do that once per dawn. And this all-purpose tool +2 I've added to your inventory will give you advantage on Tinkerer tool checks. Okay. And the
and I'm just
Sparrowhawk.
like,
You see them around the laboratory, and they are very much sidled up to Professor Gray. Now, Sarah, how would you like to translate that to like the mechanics? Would you like to like grant somebody advantage, or what would you like to grant to Lady Belizabeth on these checks, or even Gray on the checks?
I'd like to help Lady Belizabeth accomplish whatever she's doing, so she can have advantage on that with my charming presence.
Great. She already has
One point-
advantage.
Could you get
on it.
super advantage?
What I
More
can
advantage.
do is oh my gosh. Why don't we give her a you don't have any spells, do you, Sparrowhawk?
Not a one.
Why don't you add your the Sparrowhawk's charisma bonus to your next check?
Okay,
Because they
so
have used their
extra
charisma
+3.
to affect your life. An extra +3. Yeah.
to
So
mine.
you'll have advantage
Okay,
and a +3.
cool. +3. Sweet.
And Laura, what would you like to do?
At some point, I do want to go to the Sparrowhawk and like, how do you know Gray? Why are you spending so much time here? I mean, I if it is all well and good, it is, but it just seems odd for a pirate to be hanging out with a professor.
Please, dear privateer. But I just thought that since you two were spending so much time together, I should get to know the lady, and she's quite charming. In
Well,
her way.
Well, I'm glad you two have been able to maintain a friendship.
Don't worry, I'm putting in good words for you as much as I can.
May need to put in an entire dictionary.
Again, yeah, Jonathan's not going to try to get in with Gray at this point because he doesn't like her. And he actively was kind of bitchy to her. So he's like, I'm not even going to do that. So I think he makes it a point to check in on Belizabeth whenever she's at home, whether that's to be annoying or to be comforting or to be whatever it is, just whatever feels right for the day.
Occasionally I'll sick Arthur on you.
Yeah. So this is a day where he's feeling very, it's a day maybe where Belizabeth is again feeling like appearing to be very frustrated or maybe overwrought or whatever. And he is going to cast Enhance Ability. Just a second level. And he is going to do Fox's Cunning to get some advantage. The target has advantage on intelligence checks.
Great. So having advantage still will give you, because they are a charisma spellcaster, their spellcasting modifier on top of this as well.
Which is 5.
5. So you'll get a +8.
So I get a +8. That's nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with advantage.
And with advantage.
Jonathan,
+8 with advantage.
He runs hot and cold, baby.
But here's the thing. This time, it's a little harder. You're a little into it. You have built machinery now. This is going to be a DC 17 check.
Oh, I get 18 without the modifiers.
Woo!
Easily enough. You craft more and more on this, working through the summer.
Yeah,
into
26, bitch.
Jesus Christ. Through the summer, making a lot more headway than you thought. And even that, even like as the machine is coming along, well, the relationship between you and Professor Gray comes along as well, with these kind words from the Sparrowhawk. I think even one day afterwards, she calls you in to her office. Belizabeth?
Yes, I was just finishing up for the day.
You've made a
there
lot of
anything you
headway.
need?
I think it's time.
Time. You sure?
I have to tell you what I'm working on. It only feels right.
Oh. Okay. I shut the door.
Now, I will admit, at first the idea was wholly selfish. But in time, this has become something of a passion project for me. This elixir, this tonic, when applied to wounds of any kind, will heal them completely. Without any trace of it being there, it could be used for so much more as well, rejuvenating the skin and bringing youth back to people, curing diseases. It's just not perfect. The formula is there. But once your machine is finished, we will have changed the world.
Yes. That sounds miraculous. Truly. I fear those who would abuse it, but, they would with the flying machine as well.
It is a strange world we live in, when medicine can be used as weaponry. Now, if our intention is true, this will be something good. Yeah.
Sounds
Good night, my sweet.
And I take her hand before she turns away. Just gives it a squeeze and just a little nod. And she's she's kind of holding back, crying, because she's starting to get her friend back.
Yes, well, I saw
right. Yeah, it is late.
And maybe I was a bit too harsh. I saw the tool you were working with, and the Thistle Springs have been a large help. If you would like to bring them in on this, I have no problem. See you in the morning. She leaves before any more emotions come out.
And she goes home. Belizabeth goes home and just lies in bed and smiles and cries. It's things are starting to get back on track again.
And thus is the end of the summer and into the fall, where we have our last round of checks. What would you like to do?
I, have immediately, after was given permission, I need your refinement and I need your genius, and let's make this the best thing it can be.
Great. As you bring in the Thistle Springs, you will have advantage on this next roll.
Okay. And it's just Tinkerer Intelligence.
It will just be a Tinkerer's check, but Jonathan, the Sparrowhawk, is there anything you would like to do?
Right.
Yeah. Jonathan is going to find himself just out for a stroll in the woods. When
you fuck up the Thistle Springs, I will hurt you.
I'm not going to fuck him up. I'm going to have a chat. It's going to be fine.
I will hurt you.
It's okay. I'm not doing anything. I'm concerned about Lady Belizabeth.
Harm.
And no, I'm gonna just happen upon Brendan. Brendan, hello, good to see you.
Oh, Jonathan, sorry, I'm in a bit of a rush. I'm just bringing over supplies to... what can I do for you?
Well, listen, are you going over to Belizabeth?
I'm really not supposed to tell.
Oh, you can tell me. I'm a friend of her brother's.
I have specifically told him, do not talk to Jonathan.
She has specifically told me to not talk to Jonathan.
Listen, friend.
Because he is a gossip.
I mean, unless she said something else to you.
Brendan!
Honestly?
Jonathan's a gossip. I warned you about this.
It's the things she isn't saying. It's the things she isn't saying. I'm very concerned about this partnership with this gray woman.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with my boyfriend.
Make it with disadvantage because he was specifically told to stay away from you.
Got it. What am I doing? No, persuasion.
Persuasion?
Yeah. At disadvantage. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's okay, listen. It was a nat 1, but it was still a 16.
Okay.
How do you have plus 15 to persuasion?
Bard Rogue,
Vibes,
baby.
Uh,
I don't.
Oh,
I just don't
I
trust this woman.
understand. She's a nice woman.
Is she though?
Okay, she's not nice, but she's not bad.
Are you?
I can't speak to you, Jonathan. I'm really sorry. You're very charming and all, but you did get in that one, and he leaves.
I just want you to remember that she is keeping you away from her.
This has been a critical fail of a conversation.
I could have lied. I could have said it was a 16.
You can always lie.
Nah. I honor a nat one in this house.
Me too.
That's why I have luck points.
And I would like to give bardic inspiration to my friend the Sparrowhawk for whatever she chooses to do.
All right.
Okay.
So what the Sparrowhawk is attempting to do is to be around. She is just a wart on your back. She's always hanging out. Always, she brings food. She's when you're not busy, she's telling tales. When you are busy, she's telling tales.
After like the third sandwich that day, I'm like, Sparrowhawk, you know, honestly, I don't think I know your real name, do I? I just know you as Sparrowhawk.
Well, your father only ever calls me Mr. Duncan, so...
Yes, he is. He's not good with change.
He's not. No. You may call me the Sparrowhawk.
The Sparrowhawk, give me a performance check.
Absolutely. Performance. Baby. 21.
Jesus. Yeah, let that guide you.
All right, then. I was just curious. I mean, I know you explained that you wanted to get to know the professor because I was becoming more involved with the professor, but I mean, you work with my father. Why do you care so much about what I do?
Darling, do you want to know the truth? The truth is, I'm terribly bored and I don't trust this woman at all. Not as far as I could comfortably spit out a rat.
Why do you say that?
There's just something about her. And it's not the way she looks, it's just the way that her heart is wrinkled. And I'm trying to guide her out of it, or failing that, just to be there when she blows up.
You really have that little faith in her?
When you live the life I've lived, you become a realist, and you take people as they are. I can't reasonably look at her and see a pure heart, much as I would like to.
Well, from what I've known of her, has shown her to be genuine. Yes, it started out rather rough, but she has confided in me in ways that I did not think possible several months ago, or a year ago even. And while you say you're a realist, I prefer to be an optimist. I'd rather be an optimist that is sometimes wrong than a pessimist that is sometimes right. So,
I love that about you, lady. Absolutely love.
Thank you, Sparrow. I will say, I will take your words into advisement and I guess continue to eat your what is this one? Tuna, maybe? And beyond my guard, but this will revolutionize things in ways that I had hoped my flying machine would as well. And ultimately, that will be good for the world. So try to have faith in that. And her.
I shall try. But remember, should you need me, my sword is yours.
I appreciate that. And I will keep a note of it.
And
I certainly have many books.
My gun.
Ah! There are rabbits in here. You startle them. Stop it. Put it away.
Absolutely do.
All the rabbits
Right.
die. Out of
Now, the
absolute
Sparrowhawk,
terror.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
A question.
Did you use your bardic inspiration?
No, I forgot.
If you would like to in this moment, you could grant that to Lady Belizabeth. She's already, because of your
Absolutely.
performance check, she's going to get a +3 on this roll. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll pass it on. I'll pass on the inspiration.
You
Okay,
feel
how
like the
much-
Sparrowhawk is inspired by something. and
D10.
That inspires you as well. Yeah, it's a D10.
Jonathan approves
gonna
of this
have
message.
A +3 and a +10 and advantage to this, but you have to beat a 22.
Okay, a +10 or just a D10?
Plus a D10.
D10.
Why don't you roll that one first? Tell us what it is.
Okay, and it's with advantage or just regular?
With advantage, yes.
Okay,
The D20 will be with advantage.
with advantage. Okay, so the D10 is 6.
Nice.
6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're coming in with a +9.
Mm-hmm. And that would be 20
With advantage?
with advantage. Wait, what did you say it was?
22.
That I
22.
missed. 22. Well, then I'm gonna go back to my luck point.
Did you roll advantage though?
I did.
Ah.
Ugh.
So that's what luck points are for. Oh, that's much better. That would be 28.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, no, one of them's a nat 20, so that'd be 29.
With a
Crit.
natural 20. Everything falls into place for you. The fall ends, and this centrifuge is almost complete. You just have one more piece, but it's an intricate piece. And you will need a completely separate blueprint for this. You clear out everything, and you get to work. And as the winter comes rolling in, howling even as the winds roll above the town of Grimshire, you think you've got it.
Wait, and I didn't even add my proficiency bonus. Okay, never mind. That was 3
With
more.
your proficiency bone, with 3 more. That's
So that was a
absolutely-
31.
That is a godlike success. And honestly, to change the world, that might be exactly what Lady Belizabeth Williams absolutely needed. We're going to take a little break there, and then we will come back in. Can everybody do like 30 more minutes?
And of course, during the time when he's in the workshop, it's very much they reach for like tools together and their hands touch, and it's like
So-
Let's start there.
Okay.
Oh, well, oh my goodness. Lady, I think you did it. As you look down at your completed blueprints for the last piece, I could go to I know it's getting late, but I could go to the workshop and I can get exactly what we need. We can finish this tonight. Don't close up
Yes.
without me.
I wouldn't dream of it.
He sprints off.
Is there like a pony or something you can ride? It must be easier than running. Such little legs.
Make a
Such
perception check
well
for me.
sculpted legs.
Oh. Make a perception check, yeah.
A large dog, perhaps?
Yeah, no, perception was 6. No, she don't.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot of it feels empty. There's not a lot in here.
I thought the
And-
perception would be about his legs.
Oh yeah.
That's why you,
You
don't
don't
see
even-
anything.
That's why
Yeah,
I'm
you're
thinking
just
about
like-
his
yeah,
legs.
You're thinking about the legs, and you're kind of like walking. You finish this. You're just waiting for Brendan to come back. Not a lot. Honestly, you're probably alone in here. I think you noticed Professor Gray leaving about an hour ago.
There are the bunnies.
The bunnies?
You said there were animals in here. So there's got to be some.
Oh,
bunnies, I think.
oh, they're not bunnies. It's like bugs in jars, like
Oh.
scorpions and like wasps, like
Oh.
worms and centipedes, some spiders of all different assortments, and lizards as well. There's
Oh,
like,
okay,
a bunch
they're
of,
lizards.
there's a bunch
She
of
can play with
reptiles, like a bunch of like
Crunchy
snakes
bunnies.
and yeah, like a long like Komodo dragon. Some of them are like very venomous, so you have to be very careful. Like the type of venom that's like, oh, we stay away from that. Actually, as you're like looking at these lizards and like waiting and are just like with these, make a history check for me.
24.
That shouldn't. It's like you look at this and like you see on like a few of them, like 3 or 4 of them, like very like distinct markers, and you like kind of like start putting it. You take a step back and you look at all the animals and like the reptiles specifically, and you're like that one, that one, that one, and that one should not like that should not be here. Like they've been here, right? But like those are very venomous. And in fact, like the venom used in those, like with that insanely high history check, was like very recently found to alter like brain chemistry, like a very like potent drug, and also like very like though it is venom, like is very like caustic to the skin as well. So all around is just like bad deal. Like there has been like some scientific exploration, and like some boards have even just like flat out outlawed it, like no more use of these venoms. And yet there are 4, like the 4 reptiles here.
And they've been here this whole time, or
They've been
new
here this
additions?
whole time. Yeah. It's just like you're like have noticed before, oh, venomous don't touch, but now that you like really like have completed your task and have nothing else to
do but to look at them. And Gray is not there to ask about it. It is certainly going to be something to ask her about. So it's just sort of sitting alone and waiting for Brendan to come back, and suddenly feeling somewhat unsafe.
Interesting. That's kind of when you hear the thump too, just from the back.
Take out my. Let's see, what do I take out? You know what? I have a crossbow. So I very quietly, with the crossbow out, just look in and try to figure out what that thump is. And
Makes
also
sense.
being like, where's the Sparrowhawk? She said, I have her sword.
Make a stealth check for me.
Still 16.
Okay. Definitely beats in that one. You are silent as you poke your way through this small space. You see like the flicker of candlelight underneath the door of Professor Gray's office. Her office is open, like just like cracked a little bit open.
And do I see inside with that stealth, or do I need to make another?
Would you like to go closer and investigate inside? Okay,
Mhm.
even like as silent as a mouse, you push open the door. It doesn't even creak. And this room, the oil lantern on the floor, is dimly lit. It seems to have been knocked over. As you watch, as Professor Gray is kind of like clutching their arm a bit. They have a vial on their desk, and it seems to be like an um, like processed liquid. Like there are like herbs floating in this beaker, and the liquid seems to be like a like a soft like red pinkish color. And they take a dropper from their other hand, and have turned away from you. You see the back of their head. Their left arm is clutched to their chest, and they take a dropper, and they get some of this liquid, and they lift their face up to the sky, and the light cascading off the bottom of their face, making their disfigurement almost like extremely angular, and like you can see the silhouette, the elven nature of this person really shines in this light as they put a couple of the drops of this liquid onto their face and into their eyes, and instantly grunt with pain, and bring their left hand up, and you see that their left hand is 3 times the size of what it used to be, muscular, and like the jacket she was wearing is ripped off at the arm. As you follow like the muscles and the scarring of her left hand, you see long claws protruding where her fingertips end. And as this liquid rolls down her face, you see quite quickly her eyes like bulge out, like some sort of like reptile. Her face grow into like a snout. Long teeth start to protrude from her, and her other arm starts to twitch and break and grow, and she starts to rise. And where you had seen this like lithe, like 5.5 foot or some elf, now grows this monstrous 8 foot tall beast. It's disgusting yellow reptile like eyes, snap back, and with a natural 20 see you with your crossbow, and they leap towards you.
Automatic fire.
Okay, roll to
Firing
attack.
of it. Oh wait, why do I do that? I didn't want to do that. Unless it's good. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. In my other games, I use they make me do D&D Beyond. I don't like doing it when I have dice. So that is 17.
17 does not hit. They jump, and you thought they were coming right towards you. If you were defending yourself, if this being had tried to attack you at all, you would have shot them dead in the face. You were sure of it. Though your shot was true, your insight was wrong. They jump over you into the workspace, and to the front door. They turn around, they put their large claws up, and they say, "Belizabeth, stop. It's me."
She's just like doesn't even know what to say. What the machine isn't even ready yet. Why are you using your elixirs? I thought it needed the machine in order for the elixir to even work. What is this? What is this?
This is why I need your help. This is why I need your help. This is what it does every time, no matter how much I work on it. Every time.
Is it going to work at all? Or is this just a fool's errand?
It will work. It will work. Their eyes glow, and they
She steps
snarl, and
back.
foam comes out of their mouth. You step into the office space. At that moment, Jonathan, a sparrowhawk, all you see is static and white, and you appear outside of the back of this laboratory.
Shit, it's going down.
Yeah. I am going to send a message to Belizabeth. Because she's within 120 feet, right?
Absolutely.
I'm going to say, Elizabeth, get in the office. Lock the door.
Do
Trust
I know
me.
he can send messages like this?
You hear Jonathan's voice in your head.
Yeah, and it's
Echoing.
like, do I know that he has this ability, or is this just the voice of God in the form of Jonathan
It's
in my
kind
head?
of like just like the voice of God in the form of Jonathan in your. This is a fantastical site. Like magic is like magic. Like there's enchantment. There are like items that hold magic, but for somebody to wield it like this is an exponential. Like it's a feat that you don't see often, and it is quite invasive.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm already in the office anyway because I backed up. So it's not hard for me to just shut the door, lock it, pick up the lantern that has been knocked
Okay.
over.
Yes.
And I'm going to start looking through her notes to find out what the fuck this stuff is.
Make an investigation check.
Dirty 20.
With the dirty 20, a stained piece of paper. There is a drawer at the bottom of this desk that seems to have some sort of locking mechanism on it, but you can see it is ajar. It is open, and you yank it open with a 20, rifle through some papers and find the oldest one, a sheet, a list of ingredients that have been scratched out and written in over and over and over again, like a singular piece, a singular recipe. And you see, what do you think you find, Lady Belizabeth? Do you have any guesses before you reach it?
I'm assuming it has the poisons of those lizards on it.
Like you know what you're looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 of those venoms, along with like some exotic oils and seeds, like herbs and things like that. But mainly those 4 venoms known to impact like the dermis, known to like corrupt the mind, outlawed even. Those are all present in this liquid.
Whoever was in my head, whether it be God or Jonathan or whomever, if you can hear me, can you please tell Brendan to not come back?
Do we consider that a response to my message?
Yes, you hear that. Correct.
Okay.
Tell him it is a danger for him to come back and to stay in the workshop.
I message back. It is Jonathan. The Sparrowhawk and I are here. I will protect him.
You will?
I will. Well, that's it. Another message. Cantrip. Shit. Get out. Yeah, just like get out. And then he's gonna look at the Sparrowhawk and be like, "Get her out." I don't know. I have no idea where Brendan is. So
Yeah.
He just went back to his place and is somewhere between there and back.
And at that moment, there is a pounding on the door, like somebody has charged at it.
I'm going in. I'm going in.
Sparrowhawk.
Of the office store or the building? I.e.,
Read the back.
Is it Gray attacking the office, or is it Brendan trying to get in?
You hear the office door, like a large
so
being.
it's-
You can assume that it
so
is
it's-
Gray.
It's Gray trying to get in. Okay.
Yes. And the Sparrowhawk, you are outside of the back of the building.
Yeah.
Small hut. There are like small like basement windows on like the ground floor where you know that the office is. You can see like there's a faint light there. There's also one entrance to the main laboratory.
I'm sorry, you said there were windows?
There are windows, yes, not on the outside of the building itself, but like at the base of it, like if somebody had a basement, and there were windows at the top of like the basement area that can like look out, like cellar windows.
Oh, I see. Then I'll go around to the front and get in that way.
Okay, you go around to the front. You see the door is closed.
Yes, I will leap and slam it open.
Okay, roll
with
to
my
attack.
shoulder. An attack roll? Okay.
Yeah, roll an attack roll.
Cool. Against the door. Cool.
And as we all
fucking
know
show
from
that
Critical Role, this can be a bigger feat than it might be.
They have ACs.
All right. I guess that's an unarmed strike.
It would be an unarmed strike if you were just using your shoulder. Yes.
Yeah. 21.
Oh yeah, you hit. Roll damage. Well, it's just your strength plus 1.
All right. Strength plus 1, which is so 5.
5. Oh, you almost like shatter this door, break it from its hinges, but it is still up. There's a large like crack in the center of it. It is almost down. Jonathan, you see the Sparrowhawk run away. What do you do?
First, I cast Sending to Brendan, and I say, Brendan, Gray has attacked. We have Belizabeth. Stay at the workshop and stay safe.
You get back first a scream. Ah! Oh, Jonathan. Will do.
God.
Will do.
Can't do anything about that. All right.
And then he and Zoseph come in with a tank that they built.
That's an airstrike, actually.
Nice. They took my
Um,
machine.
How big is, so there's windows. How big is the window?
The windows are not very big. They are about 3 feet tall and like 5 feet across.
Yeah, I think he's gonna crouch down and see where the flickering light is, and
Mhm.
if he spots her, he's going to yell, "Stay back!" And he's going to just try to shatter, like he's going to try to like break in the window.
Okay, so Sparrowhawk, are you going to do anything else?
Yeah, I am taking my pistol and I'm shooting the lock.
Okay, roll 2. Okay, so what I want to happen is, Lady Belizabeth, this is what you hear. Both of you roll attacks, Jonathan and the Sparrowhawk.
Okay. Will this be unarmed strike? Do you think?
It would be an
Yeah,
unarmed strike,
yeah.
yes.
And I've got my crossbow at the ready. And actually, I'm going to do an acid arrow.
19.
19, Sparrowhawk.
23.
23. At the same time as you read the last venom on this list, Lady Belizabeth, you hear a gunshot and the breaking of glass behind you.
Still somewhat sunned. It's like, Please don't kill anyone if you can. This is still Professor Gray. She needs help.
The Sparrowhawk, you hear none of that. What you see is the back of a large creature attacking a door. Jonathan, you see glass. You take 7 points of piercing damage as you kind of tumble through the window and fall prone on the ground. And as you look up at Lady Belizabeth after hearing her say this,
Oh, there's a
You-
window into this office?
there is. There are
I
multiple.
thought it was
up
completely
above you.
enclosed. All right.
No, this is there are so like windows like almost ceiling level.
Okay, so I'm like this, glass
yeah,
coming down on me.
yeah.
Okay.
Like right behind you, like right behind the desk. Jonathan falls onto the ground.
So I scream, and then I'm like, "Ugh. How did you do that mind thing?"
Shut up! Go! Let's go! Shut up!
She's
you hear
listen.
another bang on the door.
And I grab, as we're leaving, I grab the paper that has the ingredients on it.
Okay. You grab the ingredients. The Sparrowhawk, you see this large creature bang against the door, but they are so large they are hitting the frame itself and not making contact with the door. What are you doing? You still have a second attack.
Oh no, I'm not attacking. I'm shouting, Gray, you need to calm down. This is going to be all right. And I'm going to use my panache, which, as an action, you can make a persuasion check contested by a creature's insight check. And it's basically a non-magical charm for 1 minute.
Okay.
So, persuasion check.
Let's go.
Hit me with it.
Come on, baby. 30.
What's that, Gray? How you doing?
Great turns around. Miss Duncan, do not be afraid.
I'm not afraid, but you need to calm down. What you're doing right now is not good.
She needs to understand. They cough up like some like green bile and get onto the floor with like on all fours. We will. It's not as bad as it looks. It'll be over soon. But we need to get to Lady Belizabeth. We need to we need to make her see reason.
All right, I think she's going to see reason. Old chap. It's going to be all right. And what you need to do is just relax and let this run over you. Let it go through you.
I'm so close.
Yes, and she's doing so well. She's going to help you, I'm sure. But you just need to relax and let it go right now, because it's going to be okay.
They slump up against the door frame. And from the other side of the door, Liz Duncan hears the sound of bodies leaving a window. It takes a little bit of effort to move the desk and scamper up. But eventually, Lady Belizabeth and Jonathan manage their escape into the night air as the Sparrowhawk comforts the hulking Professor Gray.
There. It's going to be all right.
Well,
Just got to give her time.
In the days to follow, Belizabeth, with this information, you know that Professor Gray is blatantly disregarding not only like not only is she disregarding like the safety of anybody she tests this tonic on, but is also like morally and ethically disregarding like the rules of her trade as well. Like this is not legal here. She is like holding captive animals. Um, do you go back?
I don't think I go back to the lab,
Okay.
but I do want to talk to her. So I send a message to her to say to meet her in her old university classroom.
The day you meet up with her, it takes her a while to show up. As the university starts to close and darkness overtakes the town of Grimshire, the winter night air howls, and through the window you see that snow is blanketed all over the town. In the distance, you see a lantern, and the cloaked figure of, still scarred and mangled, but no longer monstrous, Professor Eleanor Gray approaches you.
I just put down the recipe, I guess. When you came to me before this all started. No, not then. When you explained to me why you were doing this. You said it was to change the world, that it was initially selfish, but that ultimately this would change the world for the better. I do not need to explain to you why this is wrong. You have it in front of you, and you have your own skin and your own deceptions to explain it to you. So why on earth did you expect me to go along with it? I asked you from the very beginning if this was going to be morally questionable, and you said it would change the world. You lied to me, Eleanor. You made yourself a monster that night. You attacked me, screaming at me to try and make me see reason? What reason could I possibly get from that? I thought I knew you, Eleanor. This is not you. So why have you sunk? Yes, I know. What you have been through is awful. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry I was a part of it. But I thought you better than this. What good did you expect to get from this? Turn people into monsters? How was that better? Because that's what I saw the other night. A monster.
You're lucky, really. All this is just handed to you. You saw a monster last night, Lady Williams. I see one every time I look in the mirror. And I will do whatever it takes to not feel like that anymore. So rather than explain myself to you, I will ask you one question. Will you continue?
I don't know.
Well, if you are not in this with me, then you are against me, Lady Williams. And I crush my enemies wholly. She takes her ingredients off of the snowy ground and walks the fuck away. And you do not see her for months. And the winter passes. And I need you to roll insight for me, Lady Belizabeth.
I assume. I assume that we could have a long rest from the attack. Then.
Of course, absolutely. You've had months to long rest. You're okay.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay. It's like I want my luck points back.
Yes.
Much better. Insight is 19.
You are, as much as you hate it, part of this social being, part of this political sphere. And you know that it is important to have your secrets. And it is very dangerous when other people know your secrets. When that sphere of yours gets larger and larger, it also becomes easier to break. And one day, winter almost ending, coming back to spring again, you walk into your home and something is off. There is an air, a stagnant feeling. As you walk and you walk, and as you approach the study, you see your father and both of your brothers standing and urgently discussing something.
Something
The closer, everything stops. The whispered tones, the intensity of their speech lightens up as they see you. At least your brothers do. Tarthur and Percival stand flanking your father, who is a large, imposing figure. Lord Belvedere Williams. Some would call him a half-orc if they didn't know him well enough. But standing almost 7'5", this large military man looks down at you. And your brothers don't say anything when he is directly addressing someone. I think you have had your fun, daughter of mine. Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from?
Where am I coming from?
Where do you think you were coming from?
Thistle Springs.
Mm-hmm.
From the woods.
Yes, the woods, the woods. What do you do in these woods, my darlingest daughter? Have you taken up hunting?
I like to walk.
You come to me, no blood on your boots, no gun around your backside.
I do not go to hunt. I go to walk. It clears my head.
You clear your head and you walk through the woods. You are a lady of this house.
Yes.
It is time
Lady
you
not
grew
walk?
up and started acting like one.
Where is this coming from?
You think it goes unnoticed that you build these baubles and trinkets and you present them to people at colleges? You think I wouldn't find out? Now, where, oh, where have you been building these contraptions? Because it hasn't been on my property. At least, and he takes out a piece of paper. Not until this morning. And he rolls it up, and he hands it to you.
That bitch. Ugh. What does it say?
You unroll it, and it is a deed. It is a land deed to all of the woods. It's a large purchase. And of this morning, I have alerted the guards that there is a band of trespassers who have made their home in our woods.
No.
Yes. And from what I hear about your little escapades at the Quarter College, it seems they are quite dangerous trespassers.
No, they're
One
not.
might even say conspirers.
Conspirers?
You are no longer to see these gnomes, these thistle springs, these traitorous beings.
The Thistle Springs are
You are
honorable
to act
men.
like a lady and get married and further our line. What do you think this is? Your playtime? The world cannot be changed by one woman.
Did Gray put you up to this?
I know not of this grey person you speak of, but I have my ways of disseminating information. People respect me. They talk to me, they tell me when they are worried for my family and their safety. That is part of the community you shall inherit when you behave.
Well, then they are misleading you. For the Thistle Springs are honorable. If you want to look for someone devious, look for Eleanor Gray.
I will hear no more of this. These wild accusations. What's done is done. My word is final. Go, clean yourself up. Dinner is in an hour.
I walk out, and I sneak out, and I run to the Thistle Springs.
You get on your horse, and you ride into the woods. You ride and you ride. What are you thinking as the wind whips your hair?
Just all the things, just the danger that they are in, that how Gray is involved in this somehow, who gave this information to my father? Why did he suddenly buy these woods all of a sudden? It's just all this just jumble of emotion of just betrayal after shock after everything.
Mm-hmm.
And just the urgency of needing to get to them.
And as these thoughts race through your mind, your face stinging from the icy wind, your tears freezing to your face and crunching in your hair. What's next is probably the hardest part. No matter how much you plan, no matter how much you talk yourself out of it, and there's a part of you that knows what's about to happen. And as the icy wind turns to smoke and heat, as you approach the raised village of these gnomes, you see guards and hired military men gathering up the Thistle Springs and the families that have made their home in these woods for centuries, for generations. they are taken away and put on carts, but not before the leader of them, the eldest of the town, and your mentor Joseph, is made an example of and put up on a hastily constructed pedestal. You turn away as a loud shot is rung out, and you hear,
I do not. I am in shock, and I fall to my knees screaming.
and your screams caught in the echoes of the screams of the community and the crackling of the fire. Just not fast enough was this horse to save this town. And those thoughts, I think, ring true. Who did this? Who did this?
Eleanor.
And it's all gone. And the weeks pass, and the days pass, and they are slow. Nothing to work on.
Is there any information about where the rest were taken?
Make an investigation. Oh, sorry. Make an investigation check.
I'm actually going to go to Sparrowhawk and ask her for help.
Great. That is a good idea.
I would have to give
Could
it
I
up,
be?
actually.
Could I be
And that is-
hanging out? Could I be hanging
Yeah.
out and maybe give some bardic?
Well, I got a
Yes.
nat 20, so
Oh,
Never
nice.
mind.
You can still do it. Let's see how high you can get it.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, describe to me like the scene. So Jonathan, Sparrowhawk, where are you? Where does
I
Elizabeth
think-
find you?
Yeah, where I think I'm hanging out with the Sparrowhawk down in one of the more our speed, more Sparrowhawk speed locale, not in the grand house, especially because I don't think visitors would be very welcome right now.
Yeah, we're probably in the tavern.
We're sitting back drinking, like, truly, what the fuck?
that before I go to look, it's like once everybody has been carted off and the guards are gone, I go to Joseph and just like in a daze, I find the closest thing I can to a shovel and I dig his grave and I place him in it. Just all the while just going about how sorry I am for getting them involved and hating myself that no matter what I seem to do, I hurt the people I love.
As you lay Joseph down, lift up his body, you feel that there is something in his pocket.
I take it out.
It looks like it should be a piece of paper, but it is also like not in your hand and also in your hand at the same time. And as you kind of fiddle with it and open it up, there's a message on it, but it's not written in ink. It's like this bluish, like fading energy almost. And it is this strange, like almost like glyph-like font. Not like it is written with quill or hand at all. And it reads in common, happened too soon. And another row, it says, happily ever after, ? And it is signed the editor.
I want to make some kind of investigation-esque check on this, but it's like I can't right now. I'm too.
Mhm.
So I put it in my pocket, and I begin to bury my dearest friend, and
Mhm.
without any kind of care for getting dirty, and just as being numb, like the cold, I don't even feel it, and I try to see if there's any kind of like greenery or flower around that I can use to put on this place, or like any kind. I go into the house, which I'm sure has been ransacked, and I find one of his most used tools.
Mm.
And I use it as a headstone.
Covered in soot, little melted. You put his all-purpose tool. Simple, looks like a screwdriver, but every time you touch it, it changes into something else. Stick it into the ground like a headstone.
And then I go, and after just spending a moment with him, crying and just telling him how utterly sorry I am about everything, I, in a daze, get back on my horse and I look for Sparrowhawk.
Okay. Easily enough, you find the Sparrowhawk and Jonathan on their boat. The Sparrowhawk's boat.
And I'm dirty and wet and crying, and
My lady,
you said I had your sword.
always.
I need it.
Jonathan, shall we take care of this lady?
Absolutely. My sword isn't as strong, but I have other skills.
We need to know where the gnomes were taken as well. She found some way to corrupt my father. She took them all, made them all get taken away. Zoseph is gone. I have no idea where Brendan is.
Then we shall find him. I will not rest until I've knocked down every door. Well, knocked on every door, at least.
And just that, she breaks down and hugs you. Because it's just like, you will certainly be better at this than I am. Seems I muck up everything I touch.
Together.
Together.
After a minute of that, it's like, and maybe this is the first clue. This was in Joseph's pocket. I don't know what it means or who the editor might be, but maybe he's someone in charge of where they were taken. I don't know.
And Belizabeth pulls out static from her pocket. Belizabeth, you see the paper, the weird translucent paper with the weird font, but it is pure static as she presents it to you.
I lock eyes with the Sparrowhawk.
I mean, too soon. I don't know what that even means. What was too soon?
That's a very good question.
Let us take a look at it. Here, see, and I hold my hand out to see if the static can be put into my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Does static like transfer into my hand, or does it?
Yeah, you grab the item. It doesn't
Okay.
feel like anything to you, but it is still movable.
And as I look the paper over, I cast Modify Memory on Lady Belizabeth.
Okay.
So I will need to roll. I need you to roll a wisdom. Was it wisdom saving throw or no?
Yep.
Wisdom, whatever. 18.
Nope. Got a 12.
And as I take it, I tuck it away behind the sparrowhawk, and I reach out and I do whatever. I'm trying to remember this.
You want to find
all of it.
Did you want to modify the memory before knowing what it said?
I don't need to know. At this point, I just do my hand gestures and say, "This is a tragedy. What you have gone through. But we will take care of everything. We will find Brendan, we will find the gnomes, and we will do everything we can to make sure that Eleanor Gray is handled." And I remove the memory of her picking up that piece of static, that piece of paper. So it is gone. I want her to keep, I mean, as heartbreaking as it is, I want her to keep the memory of honoring her mentor and her dear friend, but she did not find anything.
Okay. Lady Belizabeth, you remember laying to rest, Joseph. You remember the heartbreak in that moment. And now you're standing in front of Jonathan and the Sparrowhawk after you've asking them to... Wait, you handed them something, though. That's strange. There's a paper that you handed them. But you don't remember ever finding it. And now it's gone. Strange.
Well, no time like the present. Let's set about.
And I will ask for one more roll. Anybody can make it. Investigation check to find where the gnomes have been kept.
I've got a +0. It's not me.
I've got a +5.
I got +8, and so I guess I'll do it with advantage because you're helping me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That is a 25.
Nice.
Years pass before you are able to piece together where everybody had been placed. Some had been moved to like different cells or different like townships, still under the same kingdom. A lot of them are like were like put to work in like different like noble houses, like to like earn a living. Brendan was able to make enough money as like a cobbler, like a personal cobbler, to like eventually like move away from like the family he was put in, like open up a small little, not a business, but like a touring like little like shop. He carries around like a case of like shoe cobbling and will help people out. It's easy enough to find him and to reconnect and to plot your next steps. Because though you have like a sense of loyalty from John and the Sparrowhawk, and there's still that weird piece of paper that you was baffles your mind, even just thinking about the couple of seconds you held it. There's still the fact that Eleanor is out there and has this tonic, this unfinished tonic that transformed her into something. And you still have your flight machine. You still have your dream.
It wasn't destroyed.
Not the memory of it. Not
It's got a rune to protect it.
not how to build it.
Um,
And who it could definitely have been in the fire. It's pretty upgraded. But
So,
for
yeah.
now, that's
Well-
where we're so
Oh,
what do you want to do?
I wanted-
Say something.
I wanted to do the role play of meeting Brendan again.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. We'll end it on this.
So he's there doing whatever cobbling he's doing, and I watch him for a while. It takes me a while to get the nerve to start walking up, and even then my feet are very heavy. It's been a long time, Brendan.
He just stares at you.
She starts to cry,
He hugs you.
and she just breaks down completely.
Everything's static. Sera, Laura, you come out of this chapter. Mindy, if you could take your ears off for us, decompress a little bit. Our hero.
God, this is the second game in a row you've made me cry in the
Every
middle of
game.
it.
Every game. That's what Cam does.
It's Dr. E helps you from your machines. Well, how was it?
That sucked.
Well, it's a tragedy after all.
I look at Sarah kind of hesitantly, and then, are they supposed to be able to pick up extra stuff that they shouldn't be seeing? Like notes from an editor?
Oh, the editor thing.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is that? What are you seeing?
Big words, in some cases, but I don't static.
Interesting. Must be a glitch in the system. Strange things happen all the time. I'll file it away in the report. Is that everything? I kind of gotta go.
Yes, that's everything. Thank you, E.
Awesome. So just fill out your reports and turn them in, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
She
Nails.
has all of her things already packed up, like puts a scarf around her neck, and like just takes her things and leaves.
Okay, no, that's fuck it. How did Belizabeth find something like that?
The only answer is that whoever this is trying to connect with her as well. So whoever this is has an interest in where the story's going, and her
Here's-
is the main character.
Yeah. Here's the question that I've got. Who are we listening to? Because we get the prompts, we get the thing, like we're told what to do.
You
You're
know, I'll
listening.
tell you,
Yeah.
when I sabotaged that flying machine, I felt worse than I've felt in a long, long time. So I don't really feel like supporting a tragedy
I
anymore.
know, but the static led us to that. So do we listen to the editor? Or do
I
we
think
listen?
I think that we were asked a question.
We were asked
Happy
a question.
ending, and we get to answer.
Yeah.
I say yes.
Yeah.
High
I
five.
like that. High five. Wear a onesie next time. Come on, like onesie twins.
Energetic corporate music starts to play. Da 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 da. Thank you once again for joining us on the Scheherazade experience. We hope that next time you come prepared, and that's where we'll end. We're done. We did.